Yeah.
I started, the idea to start was, just let me go stand at some truck stops and interview truck drivers.
Yeah.
And very quickly, like it seemed like blockchain, all this stuff was just like, okay, who cares? Like there's a problem here. And it seemed to be cash flow, and like payment. And then, I took it another step farther where I decided, hey, I'm going to get in a truck and I'm going to hitchhike with these truck drivers. So I did, I hitchhiked with truck drivers thousands of miles across the country. And at that point, it was very clear to me, like these guys need to get paid faster. How do we just solve that problem with blockchain or without it? At that point, I didn't care.
Okay, this whole hitchhiking story, we need to learn as much as possible about this whole hitchhiking. So you literally went to a truck stop. Like tell us everything that we need to know about the hitchhiking story.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably a lot more that you don't need to know, but yes. So I mean, it's pretty fucking wild, right? Like, I think I would call myself like a self-taught industry expert, but like more on the driver side. So like I'm much better at drivers than anything else. So I've learned technology and all these other things, but like what I think we do really well at Basic Block is really be empathetic towards our drivers. And I think that because we've spent a lot of time like with them. So, the best way I learn is by doing or experiencing firsthand and being able to like think and act like a driver. So yeah, one day, I went to a truck stop and I was asking truck drivers questions. And then, I went home one night and, sleep in my mom's basement. And I just thought, what if I get in one of these? What will happen? And what's the worst that could happen? I might be able to learn how to be a truck driver. And at the very minimum, I'm going to get a couple hours that I'm going to get with a potential user that I can learn so much from. So yeah, the next day, I legitimately would ask truck drivers and talk to truck drivers. And then I'd be like, hey, do you care if I like ride with you? And they're like, well, I'm not staying here. I'm like, well, where are you going? Well, I'm going to Chicago, or I'm going to, Kansas City, or I'm going to Texas or whatever. And I would just be like, can I ride with you? And they're like, well, what's your plan? I'm like, I'll ride with you. And like, I'll buy you a couple dinners and lunches. And, I just want to see what it's like to be a truck driver. And a lot of these, you get a decent amount of no's, but then started to get yeses and like perfect the pitch and kind of figure it out. And then next thing you know, like I'm in a truck and I'm going to Texas, and then I get to Texas and I'm like, well, fuck, I better get in a truck and go back or go somewhere. And it would be pretty nuts, like there was sometimes that it'd be like tough to get different places. But if you were at the right truck stop and you found the right trucker, you could get pretty much anywhere pretty quickly.